Hey guys, so today I'm going to be doing a New Year's themed look.
Actually, we're just gonna call it a silver smoky eye because I filmed this the day before New Year's and I didn't get it up in time, so enjoy.
I have not played in like glitter and lashes in a while, so this was really fun to create. I used a couple of new products today, not a lot, but just a couple. And yeah, I'm obsessed with how this look came out. So without further ado, if you want to see how to get this look, just keep on watching. Okay, so my eye is already primed, and to start, I'm going to be using a Colourpop palette. This is the Smoke Show palette. It is just the gray, white, and black palette that they came out with. It's pretty dang good. So I'm gonna start with the shade Stone Face on a Morphe M518. It is this color in the corner, just a light gray. And I'm going to be blending this into the crease, going from outer corner to inner corner, starting in the outer corner, and then blending the rest towards the inner corner. This color is like the perfect transition shade for this whole gray look. I don't know, it's a very unique shade. I don't have anything like it. It is like a true gray. It's not coming off like brown at all. It's not coming off blue or green. It is just a true kind of like slate gray. I don't know. It's just perfect. I always find doing like true black and gray smoky eyes is so hard, and this shade is just a game changer. I know it's so simple, but it's so good. And now I'm going to go into the shade Slated, which is this one here. I'm going to be taking an Essential Crease Brush by Real Techniques. It's just smaller than that Morphe one, so I'm going to pack this on the outer corner first, and then start blending it into the crease. Just slowly building it up. So it's so much easier to add than take away with these darker colors. I'm really shocked by this palette because I find, like I said just a second ago, doing these traditional black and gray smoky eyes, I find that they get really hard to blend out, they get muddy, and these shadows are just so easy to blend. It's insane. For only $12, like, you've got to try these little 9-pan Colourpop palettes. They're so good. So worth the money. And I'm just going back in with a little bit of that Stone Face shade and just blending out the darker slated color. Just going back and forth until I get the right pigmentation and I get it as blended as I want it. And I am going lightly into this inner corner just because I am doing more of a cut crease, but I'm not doing it too dark in that inner corner. Just enough to add definition. Okay, now I'm going to be dipping into a different palette. This is the Butter Me Up Press Powder palette, also by Colourpop. It's this one here. And this palette is just so pretty. It's so unique. Like, it's got like a mixture of warm and cool shades in there. But I'm going to use the black from this palette because it's got a little bit of a shimmer in it. I know this palette has a shimmery black, which I definitely could have used this one as well. But I don't know. I just dipped into this one. That's just what happened. They look so... Oh! Guys, they're the same shade. They're both Night Dream. I'm an idiot. So literally you could use either palette. They're both the same shade. You're welcome. So I'm going to do just a shadow wing, and this is a Real Techniques Instapop crease brush. Alright, and now I'm just going to go back into a little bit of that slated shade. I'm using a Morphe M431. It's a little pencil brush, and I'm dipping back into slated just slightly, tapping off any excess product. And I'm going to be running that over the top of the wing just to help kind of blend it out and kind of blend it to the rest of the makeup. And I'm not too worried about anything under here. We're gonna clean it up and sharpen it up, but that's why I'm doing my eyes first. And then just gonna go back into the black and just kind of reapply close to my lash line. Now I'm gonna take a matte concealer. This is the e.l.f. 16-Hour Camo Concealer. And I'm going to do a half cut crease, so you can see here. And I'm just going to use a flat, dense concealer brush. And the only difference that I'm going to make is I'm not going to go over this black line. I'm actually going to kind of cut around it. I'm going to kind of blend into the front of it to give it kind of like a faded, blended look, but we are going to go around it. Okay, now I have a clean lid to apply the color. Now, both of these palettes have a really bright silver shade. They both look exactly the same, even though they're not. Let me swatch them. Let me see what is so different. That's so funny. They're literally the exact same shade. I don't see a difference in the two. So, doesn't matter which palette you use at this point. Mainly, I'm using this palette for the glitter, which we'll get to. But I am going to use the silver shade in this palette, but if you only have the Smoke Show palette, just use the silver in that one. Like I said, they're literally the same. So, just going to take some Morphe E19. Doesn't matter, just take a flat packing brush. I'm going to spray a little bit of Fix Plus. And then I'm going to pack this where I carved it out with concealer. Like really it doesn't need Fix Plus because now I'm just going in without it, but look, well don't ignore the side because it's got glitter on it, but like wow. Like glitter is 100% optional because technically you're not supposed to use it on the eye area, but I live on the edge. So you could literally stop here. Like look how blinding that silver is. You don't have to add glitter. Don't feel like you have to. Because like I said, so use at your own risk. It's not recommended that you do use it. So just keep that in mind. Now from the Butter Me Up palette, I'm also going to take the Big 3, which is this iridescent white shade, and put that in my inner corner. It's kind of got like a green reflex, which is really pretty, but we're gonna cover it a little bit. Some more glitter. So like I said, the glitter is not intended for eye area, but neither are like the red shades in this palette. So like I think it's just, yeah, don't use glitter if you're afraid to use it. I personally have never had an issue, so I will use it at my own risk, but like I said, don't use it if you don't feel comfortable using it. So I'm going to go into the shade Overpacked, which is this one here, on my finger, and tap this on top of the silver. Adds a little something to the look. And then I am going to use the other glitter in this palette, which is called Island Hopping. This is like white iridescent glitter. This one's chunky, so just so you know. All right, now I'm going to add some mascara. Okay. Now, shocker, I'm gonna wear lashes. I never wear lashes. However, this look just called for a lash. These are actually some lashes I got in my BoxyCharm. I'm really pleasantly surprised at these. They're like, I wanted some like spikier lashes, but that weren't so crazy. So these are the Lashaholic Luxury Lashes. And these are in the style Instaglam. So it's this here. This is what the lash looks like. So this is what we're gonna use. The band is super flexible and it's not super thick. It is a solid black band, however, very thin. So I like that. I don't feel bombarded with a lash on my eye. Let's put some foundation on. I'm going to use, I have this new one by Revlon. It is the Candid Glow. I remember liking the Candid foundation, but not loving it. So let's try Candid Glow. I got the shade 110 Porcelain. It's just it says Moisture Glow Anti-Pollution Foundation. Light buildable coverage. Has prickly pear oil, antioxidant, anti-pollution, and ingredients that help block blue light. It has no phthalates, fragrances, or synthetic dyes. Okay. I'd say the claims like light to medium coverage definitely, or light buildable coverage is what it claimed. My skin is not in the best shape right now, but that'll help us determine like what it looks like and everything, how it covers and whatnot. Probably used almost 2 full pumps, so that's probably about how much you would need, especially if you're wanting to build it up a little bit like I am. Alright, that is 1 layer. It is definitely light coverage, light buildable. It looks really good. Okay, let's add another layer. I'm gonna do another pump just because I want to see how buildable it is. Not that I would ever really put this much foundation on. I would probably stop at just 1 layer just because I don't really care all that much, but I do want more of a flawless base because I've got such a bold eye, which if I want lots more coverage, I'm just gonna use my concealer, so that'll definitely help. It definitely is buildable though. That gave me about medium coverage, which I'm totally okay with, especially on a day-to-day basis. It looks really good. I don't know how it's translating on camera, but it looks glowy. It looks smooth. It's not enhancing my pores or anything. I could see this being a really good everyday foundation, so quite impressed. I'm going to color correct under my eyes just so that way we have a really nice flawless under eye. I use just a peach corrector. And this is the Colourpop Hello Fresh concealer. Is that what it's called? No, HelloFresh is a food subscription service. This is called the Pretty Fresh concealer. Let's see where my brain is at. Food. Always. I'm just gonna take my Maybelline Fit Me Loose powder in Fair onto my Real Techniques powder sponge. Seriously guys, this sponge, so worth it. So good. Just gonna make sure there's no creasing. Okay, powder on. I am going to do my eyebrows off camera and I will be right back. Okay, my eyebrows are on. Now I'm gonna do my lower lash line, and I'm not gonna do anything crazy. I'm just gonna clean off that Instapop eye brush from Real Techniques. I'm gonna dip into Slated, which was the medium gray shade, and put this on underneath my eyes. I'm gonna dip into a little bit of the black, just a little bit, make sure I tap off any excess because I don't want any fallout. And this is just gonna go on the outer half as close to my lash line as I can get it. And then I'm just gonna take a little bit of Stone Face to kind of diffuse all of this out. Put on some mascara on the lower lashes. But that's the eye look completed. Okay, so I just run and eat dinner really quick, so I'm sorry if there's anything in my teeth. But bronzer. I think I'm just gonna use some Laguna by Nars, which this palette is way too old, but it's in this palette. I have a Laguna in the pan, like a single pan, but it's the more, what's it called? It's like a sheer version of it. So I wanted a little something more, so. I, for some reason, really like a warm cheek or a warm complexion when I do really cool toned eyes. I just feel like the cool toned eyes can sometimes make you look dead. And so that's why I went for Laguna, because it's a little bit warmer. Or at least on my skin it is. I'm just gonna take my sponge with nothing, well, just whatever's left on it, and just kind of run it over my nose, and then I kind of carve out my cheekbone a little bit. Like I said, I'm just using whatever's left on the sponge. And then I'm going to take this Nars palette. This is probably a limited edition palette. I don't know. I just love Nars. I'm not sure if you can still get this or not, but any warm tone blush like MAC Warm Soul, that's a classic, and that would go perfectly with this look. But I am just going to dip into, I'm going to mix this shade and this shade. And I realized I was editing a video that I filmed on Christmas, and these brushes like have beads in them, so they're really loud, but my microphone, now that I have a new microphone, it picks it up a lot, so sorry about that. I think I'm going to take the highlighter that's in this palette as well. It's called Tell All. It's kind of like a shimmery, sparkly highlighter. It's really cute. I'll probably add another highlighter on top if I'm being honest. This is more pinky peachy. So I think I'm just going to put this on my cheeks. It's kind of like a cheek topper. It's so pretty, but I think I wanted something a little bit lighter. To really make these cheeks pop, I'm going to take Flexitarian by Colourpop. Mine is broken, so just ignore. I think I've gone a little too overboard. I do think there is so much as too much highlighter, and I think I reached that threshold. So we're gonna blend it a little bit. Just gonna take my sponge and kind of pat over, because I think I put too much on my chin. And then I'm just gonna lightly tap over my cheeks. Okay, so my camera died, but all I did was just finish my lip. And I went in with the lip liner. This is the Steve Laurent lip liner in Vogue. I got it in a BoxyCharm, but it is one of my favorite lip liners right now. So, love that. And then I first put on Buxom White Russian, and then topped it off with Celeste, also by Buxom. I love Celeste, but I wanted just a little bit more of a solid color, so that's why I put on White Russian first. A little extra, but I didn't want to go super cool tone and I didn't want to go super warm, so I went for just like a neutral pink nude. Plus, on the eyes I have that little bit of like purple glitter in there, so the lip just kind of helps tie that in. So yeah, this is the finished look. I'm living for this eye look. I haven't played around with just glitter and lashes in a while, so it was really fun to kind of dip my toes back in the water. Yeah, that's the finished look. If you guys enjoyed this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next one.